first I'll give a short account of his life, which actually you can get from books. There is no need to. But even then, he came from a distinguished family in Bengal. There are some peculiarities in Swamiji's birth also. It's not as if people say he built himself up and became a great spiritual giant. I personally feel that he was born to be that. Swamiji's grandfather, Durga Prasad, was a lawyer. As soon as he had his first child, he walked away from home, became a sannyasin and never came back. His grandfather. So, there is something in the genes. So, he was there. Then, his father, of course, was not religiously inclined, but he was Vishwanath Datta. And his mother was Bhuvaneshwari Devi. He was not religiously inclined, but he was such a straightforward man. He was also a lawyer. He was so straightforward and truthful that by the time he passed away, which was very early, when Swamiji was very young, there were so many suits against legal proceedings going on about his house. There was no money left. He had heavily borrowed. When he was alive, everybody thought he was a very rich man, but when he died, they suddenly discovered that he had nothing. From this background came Narendranath Datta. In the beginning, his mother had named him Veereshwar, actually, because he would do all kinds of mischief when he was young. It was really, she said, I prayed to Shiva to send me somebody like him, and he has sent me one of his ganas, ghosts. He was a very mischievous young boy. That mischief, I think, was an expression of his energy, which later on was channelized into such great spiritual things. So as a young man, Swamiji grew up here. As a young man, he also had the habit of sitting down sometimes, closing his eyes, doing puja for a Shivlinga, meditating and so on. Side by side with the mischief. And at one time, he would not even eat food if it had touched something that is non-vegetarian. And his father used to say that his ancestors used to eat oysters and snails, and this fellow is not eating it. So, this was Swamiji. He had one part of his mind which was very, very clear, which was, he questioned everything. He asked questions. He was not satisfied with second-hand information. He always wanted first-hand information. So, as he grew up, he went to college. He met many people. He was seriously interested in finding out if there is any truth behind this, what we see around us in this world. So in that interest, he joined the Brahmo Samaj. He used to sing well. He used to play the tabla. I don't know if you have gone to any of the Ramakrishna Mission centers, including Belur Math, where the Arati is sung in the evening. That Swamiji was an accomplished singer and tabalchi. It's clear from the fact that the Arati which is sung, Khandana Bhavabandhana, Jagabandhana, this, in Bengali it's not sung like this. Khandana Bhavabandhana, Jagabandhana. So, when this is sung, it was actually written and tuned in Drupal by Swamiji himself. That's the one that they sing everywhere. So, he was a talented boy, talented young man. So he finished his education. He was finishing his education. And as a young man, whoever he met, he used to have one question. He went to Rabindranath Tagore's grandfather, Devendranath Tagore, who was considered to be a Raja, and asked him one day in the steamer, do you have any spiritual experience? Or are you just talking, and do you have any spiritual experience? So he couldn't get satisfactory answers from anybody. One day, he went to sing in a friend's house. And there, for the first time, he saw Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He looked at him. They were poles apart in the sense that he was an educated young man. Educated Bengal, as they used to call. And here was an illiterate village priest who started his life doing puja for Bhadrakali in Dakshineshwar temple. But when Swamiji saw him as a young man, he was impressed by the fact that here was an unpretentious man who sang. When Swamiji sang, he went into ecstasy. And he wondered, what is this ecstasy? What is he feeling when he is away from this surroundings? This thought kept occurring to him. One day he decided to go to Dakshineshwar. You know that in Dakshineshwar, if you enter the temple on the gate, if you go, before you enter the main gate, on the right side, if you are facing the temple gate, there is a small room where Sri Ramakrishna used to stay. If you go there, you will still see it. There are two cots there. One is for meditation and one is for sleeping. It's a good warning. When you try to meditate, don't meditate on the bed on which you are sleeping. Because instead of samadhi, you will get shushupti. It's proved thing. Sri Ramakrishna used to have a small bed where he meditated and a small bed where he slept, and both were covered with mosquito nets. Because in Calcutta, around the Hooghly River, mosquitoes are so big they may carry you away sometime. So, he went to see him. I was alone. First visit. As soon as he went in, Sri Ramakrishna welcomed him as if he was a long lost known friend. Come from somewhere. He called him, sit near, what's your name? Where have you come from? Who's your father? And then he said, come, I want to take you somewhere. And he took him behind the screen near the river on the, I think, western or eastern side, I'm not sure. So he took him behind the screen, and then he suddenly started weeping and holding his chin and patting and saying, where did you go all these days? I have been waiting for you. Swamiji said, where have I landed him? He doesn't know me from Adam. He said, where are you? Why haven't you come? I was waiting for you. Why are you hiding this? So Swamiji kept quiet. He said, my name is Narendranath and all that, and tried to. And then he fed him some sandesh and sent him home. Come again, he said. Swamiji, when he left, when he heard him saying, come again, he said, I'll never come again. This man is crazy, there is no question. But many days later, there was a feeling in him that he must again go and see him. Even though he said, I'm not coming here, he's crazy, he went. That day something extraordinary happened. He asked him, have you actually seen God? Everybody is saying this. He said, you have any doubt? I have seen him and felt him more clearly and better than I am seeing you in front of me. Nobody had said this to him before with such surety and, He said, I have seen you, I have seen God, I have experienced God as clearly and better than I am seeing you in front of me. And then while talking, he was sitting with one foot down and one foot folded on the bed. Naren, Swamiji was sitting down. He went into a trance. That half smiling manner, he slowly put his toe on his chest with the right hand, right foot. This young man who was always asking questions was so who said that his will was so strong that nobody could influence him, and so on and so on. As soon as the foot touched the chest, he suddenly felt that everything was revolving around him and disappearing. There was only a sea of light, everything was revolving and disappearing, and he himself was about to become null and void. When that stage came, he shouted loudly, "What are you doing to me? I am Narendranath Datta, son of Vishwanath." So he smiled and patted him on his chest and said, come back, we'll do it afterwards. After this, Swamiji could not miss going naturally. He always went, but believe me, not anybody else has got that experience from him so like this. There was one Swamiji who got it and one teacher who gave it. It's not as if it was distributed for free, which means the recipient was ready to receive. And he had found the right receptacle. Also, he had something to give. That is there. So, after that, Swamiji used to go, they had various different discussions on various things. Swamiji first went with the Brahmo Samaj attitude, and very soon he melted and began to say that, well, the mother also is a manifestation of the divine and so on. And it's quite a long thing that they spent. But one thing was clear. In a few years, everybody learned that Naren, Swami Vivekananda, is the main chief disciple. He himself said that he will lead. Even though he had other direct disciples who were highly spiritual, he selected Swamiji separately for this task of spreading his vision and spreading what he wanted to spread. Then, till the last, Swamiji had many questions which Sri Ramakrishna sorted out in his own experiential way. Not theory, but experiential way. And so it was a great love affair between the Guru and the disciple, which is unheard of, unparalleled in the literature of the spiritual journey. In fact, if Naren didn't turn up, Ramakrishna used to walk up and down saying, what happened to Naren? He hasn't come. Somebody used to remind him, you're a Paramahamsa, why are you attached to this boy? And he used to say, I'm not attached to this boy, don't say that. Next time you say that, I won't look at your face, but I'm waiting for Naren. So it is said that whatever he had, he passed it on to Naren. Because when he was very ill, you know that Sri Ramakrishna fell ill when these boys were still quite young. They had not taken sannyas yet. Although when he was ill, he distributed few dhotis which were saffron colored to the boys. But he gave it only to the boys. He didn't give it to anybody else. M also used to go there. He never gave it. Although every Sunday he used to sit there and jot down all that went on between the teacher and the taught. And that collection is called the Gospel of Ramakrishna. It's a wonderful book to read for anyone on a spiritual journey. But it contains only Sunday reminiscences, basically. Because throughout the week he was teaching in the college. So, when Ramakrishna fell ill, there came a stage when he had cancer of the throat and he could not even drink a drop of water. One day Swamiji, feeling very bad about this and sad, he always had a heart that melted at everything, even though he looks like that. He said to him, one prayer you give, you pray to the Divine Mother Kali. I know that whatever you say, she'll listen to you. Just pray once. Just give me enough strength and energy to be able to eat a little food. Just make that prayer for my sake. I know you always said, I won't pray for myself. So Sri Rama, because Naren said, he said, okay, I'll do that. He closed his eyes and went into a trance. He came back and he looked at Naren and said, Sala, next time, I used to talk like that, very rusty. Next time, I will not listen to anything that you say. because I just now asked the mother what you had asked me to ask, and she said, how can you be so foolish? Isn't it enough that you're eating through all these mouths around you? Has it to go only through this mouth? Means he had no special identification with his own self. Anyway, during that time, one day, Swamiji was meditating deeply under a tree in the Kasipur garden house where Ramakrishna was lying. There he entered into a very deep spiritual trance, samadhi. Very, very deep. And for the first time, he thought he had entered the state which is considered in yogic terms as the ultimate. Somebody went and told Thakur that Naren has been for 3 hours in samadhi, he is not coming out. He said he'll come. Then he woke up. He went to him. He called him. What happened? He said, I was deeply in samadhi and became one with the universal being. I would love to remain in this state forever and forever. He said, again he called him Sala. I said, this, what I have taught you so many years, that you would like to selfishly sit and enjoy the bliss of samadhi. I thought you will be like a banyan tree under whose shade so many living beings will take refuge. And then he said, this what you experience today is over for the time being. I have locked it and I am keeping the key. When you have done your work, I will give you back your key. And what was the work? Sarva Bhuta Hite Rata. As said in the 12th chapter of the Gita, the foremost qualification for a human being to be called a bhakta, according to Krishna in the 12th chapter, is he should be first Sarva Bhuta Hite Rata, one who has the welfare of all living beings in his heart. And Swamiji moved towards that with full force. In fact, when Swamiji went abroad and came back, some of his Guru Bhais began to complain, saying that all this is newfangled, you have got it from the West. Thakur never asked us to do that. He only wanted us to go into samadhi, enjoy. What is all this that you are doing? Swamiji said to them, if you think you know what he wanted, then you please take this Velumat and run it for yourself. I have no interest. I am not doing it for my personal fame or anything of that kind. He went inside, went back to his old kaupi, which he used to wear when he was wandering, took a kamandalu in his hand and said, here I go. You take care, you do what you want. You know what he said properly. So why are you asking me now? You do it. So they went behind him and said, Dada, you are just discussing the matter. You don't have to go like that. And he said, yeah, I know you're discussing, and came back. Now this again is a sign of a egoless person. He wants to go and then they say, come back, he came back.